Hello, everyone. How's it going? This is Immigration Attorney Moumita. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Monday Coffee with Moumita. How is everyone doing? I've had a really busy day, and this live is going to be very short because I actually have a lot of work I have to do. So this will be a very specific live. And if anyone saw the description that I posted for today's live, I wanted to talk specifically about what situations you might find yourself in if you are married to a US citizen or to a green card holder and now you are needing to file your paperwork. So thank you. So if you're joining me today for the first time, my name is Moumita Rahman and I am an immigration attorney. I'm based in New York, but I serve clients all over the US and indeed all over the world. I really love to bring people together and keep families together and help them find freedom and peace within the immigration system as much as possible. So if you're watching, thank you. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my page, share my videos if you're finding this useful, and please share this video if you have a friend or a family member who is going through some things and who you think might find it useful to see my video. So again, thank you for joining me, and I will go ahead and keep this as brief as I can. So let's talk about what are some situations you might find yourself in if you are an immigrant and you're either in the US or out of the US and you're married to a US citizen or to a green card holder. So one unique situation that I see is, let's say you're in the US and you're married to a US citizen or to a green card holder, but they're not filing for your papers. Months and months goes by and years go by, and you're still in the same situation where you're without a work permit, you're without a social security number, you're without a green card. You don't have any status. And you wonder, why is your spouse taking so long to file your paperwork? And, there really is, the main reason for this is usually because they're holding their immigration status over your head in an attempt to control you. And if you find yourself in the situation or you have a friend who is in the situation, then please give me a call. My telephone number is 212-248-7907. I help people find freedom from their spouses and their relationships where they are basically holding them back from being able to enjoy life and society fully because they don't have any legal status. And through a special provision called VAWA, I am able to help people get a work permit in 6 to 8 months and a green card in 2 to 2.5 years. This is real, and it is an amazing tool. If you find yourself in this situation, please let me know. So in between answering, giving some common scenarios, I'll take some questions as I see them. Thank you. I'm seeing comments. Hi, Nanda. How are you? Thank you for watching. AJ is saying, thank you. Nice to see you. So I have a question from Asman the African. So he says, Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for these videos. Any updates on K1 processing at the Nairobi embassy or embassies in general? And unfortunately, I don't really have any update about this. The consulates are not consistent. There is no consistent answer about whether consulates are open or when they're going to reopen or when they're going to issue appointments. And even then, for specific K1 visas, it is a very, the consulates are applying the rules differently. So one consulate might say that they're able to issue K1 visas at this time, but another consulate might not. So unfortunately, Asman the African, I don't have an answer for you, especially not in regards to Nairobi. So Janky, hi, thank you for watching. So I have a question here from Ishni Awal who's asking, how long is USCIS taking for biometrics for asylum? So really, right now there's not a clear answer on this. All I can say is that every single thing with immigration is taking mostly longer because of the fact that offices, a biometrics appointment is an in-person appointment. And the government, or some parts of the government, are aware that you have to do things to slow down the spread of COVID. So they have actually lessened the number of appointments they give so that there are fewer people visiting the buildings at any given time. And biometrics appointments, unfortunately, will also be delayed as a result of this because the government will not be giving biometrics appointments as quickly or as frequently as they do. But don't be worried. I have plenty of clients who've had their biometrics appointments given, especially since they reopened the offices bit by bit. And since the middle of July, I've had many clients who have received their fingerprinting appointments and have given them. So don't worry. So that takes me back to the main case type that I was talking about. If you are married to a US citizen or to a green card holder and you find yourself in the position where your spouse is not filing for you, one of the first things that we do is we file for your work permit. And you do get a biometrics appointment, and then eventually you get your work permit in 6 to 8 months, which is the current processing time for work permits. Okay, so I have a question here from Mr. Stormy. Hi there, any news from the New York City field office? Have they restarted or rescheduling canceled interviews? Yes, Mr. Stormy. So what the field offices are doing is they are prioritizing interviews for citizenship. So if you filed for naturalization and your interview was canceled during the past few months because of the COVID-19 situation, then we do know that your interview will be in the priority category for a reschedule. Once they get through all the citizenship canceled interviews, then they will resume some sort of a normal schedule. Okay, so I have a case here from Ishni. Sorry, you have a very case-specific question. Not too sure how to answer that. Okay, so Farouk Khan is asking a very good question here. How long does NVC take to review or resubmit a document? So if your case is doing electronic filing with NVC, normally they get back within a few weeks. But if it's taking, if your case is not being, if you're not able to upload your files through the electronic CEAC system, then you're having to submit it by paper. And that tends to take longer. But again, NVC has been experiencing furloughs and slowdowns because of COVID-19. And I would say that generally it takes anywhere from 1 to 2 months to hear back from NVC once they have finished reviewing documents. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little break from answering questions, and I'm going to talk about a second situation that you might find yourself in if you are married to a US citizen or to a green card holder and you are in the United States. So friends, if you're in the US, you're married, you thought everything was going great, and your spouse helps you file for your paperwork, but there's still some issues going on and you're still not 100% sure if your spouse is actually going to go with you to the interview. Let's say you get your interview notice and then your spouse threatens you and says, I'm not going to go. You're going to have to go by yourself. I'm not going to help you with this. What can you do? If you find yourself in the situation, you really need to speak with me right away. Okay, I can help you. I can help you file for a self-petition in this case. You don't have to rely on your spouse. Okay, if your spouse threatens you and says that I'm not going to go to the interview with you, you can't make me. This is really a tactic of manipulation, and that means that they are subjecting you to lots of emotional abuse, okay? And if this is happening to you, give me a call. My telephone number is 212-248-7907. I help men and women file for self-petitions when this happens. When you file for self-petition, you file for a green card for yourself without the interference or knowledge or anything from your spouse. So you can get the freedom in your life and the control back, okay? So really important, if this is happening to you, your spouse has either filed your paperwork or is refusing to file paperwork for you, or you have filed and you have an interview coming up and all of a sudden they're acting cold, distant, or becoming more aggressive with you, give me a call, okay? So I have a question here from Janky. So your mother is a citizen, mother-in-law is a citizen. She filed for her son 7 years ago, and now he's married. How long would that take? Thank you. So Janky, your mother-in-law's, I guess it would be your brother-in-law. His case is going to take a very long time. Now, why do siblings take so long for green cards and visas? This is something very, the government places restrictions on how many visas it grants to siblings every single year. And I don't know the number off the top of my head, but because there are more siblings that apply for visas every year than they will actually give out visas for, there's a huge backlog. And currently, siblings are waiting, I would say, about between 10 to 12 years for their case to become current. So yeah, so that's it. I'm not going to take any more questions at this time because I really have to get back to work, but thank you so much for watching me today. If you have other questions, make sure you leave me a comment and I will do my best to answer them. I don't always have time to respond to everyone, but please do. And if you have any ideas for videos that you'd like me to make, let me know. And again, please share this video. Every time you share a video, you actually help me boost my ratings because you help my videos get noticed. But more than that, you share knowledge with somebody who might need it, and you never know when somebody needs help. All right. My name is Moumita Rahman. Thank you so much for watching me today. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for watching and see you next week.